Hello, this is Invasion Animation, and this is order or time lapse. And today I am drawing a what I consider to be the pixie. Now, the pixie is a mythical cryptid that roams around in the forest. I consider it to be basically similar to a fairy because it is similar to it. They are, in fact, part of the same family. Now, it is unknown which one evolved into which one, or if it is a similar situation to the humans evolving alongside with baboons. But all that is known about these pixies is that they tend to be green, but they come in a variety of colors to blend in with their environment. They are nowhere near as intelligent as the fairies, but they still are capable of pack hunting. Now they vary in sizes, but uh, some of them are much smaller than the fairies, being basically the size of an ant, but far more vicious. While some being as large as roughly 5 inches tall. Very small for humans, but it is very, very big for these fairy entities. Now, these fairies, are they are hunted quite often by these pixies. There's been a long, outstanding rivalry between the two. These pixies have evolved to use their top two arms as hind legs to allow them to run faster since they've lost their wings. Their wings that they have evolved from fairies have gone away and been replaced with these frills along their back. It helps them stabilize within water conditions and keeps cool. It still remains a similar color to their wings they once had. The antennas on these pixies are much harder and are even capable of piercing through the shell of smaller vertebrates as well as smaller invertebrates, and as well as sensing some of the environment around them within a few feet of way without without the use of their eyes. And speaking of their eyes are quite big. They tend to use it. The eyes of these pixies are capable of seeing in the darkness. Which gives them their nocturnal charm. Sporting additional teeth than the fairies, are a they are 100% carnivores rather than the omnivorous virus. I am incapable of speaking today. Anyways, their teeth are much sharper and more numerous, which means they are far more carnivorous than the fairies of which they evolved from or beside. They do not possess ears, so they mostly rely on their antennae, and they are virtually deaf for the most part. Their nose is, despite looking like it's just a hole in their head, it is far more capable of smell than the fairy's nose. That's basically just breathing intake. They can smell different food sources from a variety of places. They just have an issue tracking it down. They can smell up to about 10 feet away, which again is very, very far from them. The hind leg have evolved to be more slanted so that they can easily jump and push apart and push up like from their original grounding stance. thus causing them to launch up in the air, similar to a frog. These launches and hops make them very fast to the point of even being capable of going 15 miles an hour. Still nowhere near as fast as the dragonflies can go when they fly, but significantly faster than when they walk. Their middle arms, or two lower arms, have still remained a state of arms. It could be used for reproduction or for another method, which is unknown. The undercarriage of the pixie's head are capable of inflation. They use this to store various food they get and hunt so that they do not have to venture too far from any burrow that they make. They also use this as a maiden call for any stragglers, straggling pixies that they may need to find. A hunting method of the pixies, specifically for the fairies, is to use their claws to dig a nice deep hole, and then they wait, carefully poking their antenna up to try to mimic the look of a fairy. Any fairy unlucky enough to venture nearby the pixie in a search, since they would assume it was a fairy in need or in some kind of distress, will likely be hunted and killed. The pixies eviscerate their target by ripping apart their torso and their wings. They tend to go for the wings first, so they are unable to fly off. Then they aim for the head to make sure to mercifully kill their prey. They hunt a variety of insects and even small mammals such as mice, shrews, and on very, very rare occasions, squirrels. These pixies are also known for their living situation. They often take over mice burrows after hunting them down, but for the most part, mice or more rat burrows, they, for the most part, also make their own burrows. These pixies tend to live underground in a very small, mediocre burrow in which they tend to huddle together for warmth. Their pixie pack, so they call it, are comprised of a minimum of 4 members and a maximum of 70. They are very formidable and on very, very rare occasions capable of taking down a very intoxicated human. And anyone who can actually see them should easily be able to just stomp on them repeatedly. They are not bright enough to wait and do anything to take down prey very much bigger than themselves. Due to their high speeds and fast metabolisms, they are on a constant need for hunting and a constant need for food. So they have to send hunting parties out to go and secure the food, and they bring back the food for any injured or young that they leave behind, with some designated pixies to guard them. So, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe for more. This is a fun way, like adding some lore to the 10 that I made, and hopefully you find it interesting. Be sure to share this with your friends. Comment down below, and be sure to subscribe, because I do animations, drawing time lapses, and maybe I'll do some commentary on them again. And also do random live streams where I stream myself working on my comic and doing all kinds of other art related things. So, subscribe. It's free and it's fun. Until next time, Invader.